and have come here. I will assure you that each one of you will have the value addition out of this particular program, get a lot of directions to your business, support your thinking of startups, taking your business to a higher level. I once again welcome each one of you and have a great day today. Thank you.
Now, I request Srimati Kirti Sharat to introduce our guest speaker, Shri S Krishnaswamy sir.
It's my privilege to introduce Gnanasagara S Krishnaswamy sir to you all. He is known as the Bhishma of Chartered Accountancy profession. He is popularly known as SK sir to the CA fraternity. Shri S Krishnaswamy is a senior member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. To his credit, he has 6 decades of service to the trade community and professional colleagues through his profession. SK sir is a guru, a mentor, a guide, and a philosopher to many chartered accountants and juniors. He is always ready to give his guidance whenever you approach him. He was practicing in Shimoga till 1974 in the name of S Krishnaswamy Co. Then he shifted to Bangalore. To say a few words about his profile. He is a visiting faculty to a number of management institutions and to National Law School. He acted as a lead instructor for Certified Public Accountants, Certified Management Accountants, Chartered Financial Analyst courses. He was the chairman of the Bangalore branch of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and past president of Karnataka State Chartered Accountant Association. He was the member standing committee on international financial standards and codes, advisory group on bankruptcy law. While he was in Shimoga, he was a member of Rotary Club Shimoga. He has unimaginable command over language, subject, writing, and presentation, which we have experienced over years in different seminars and conferences. He has authored around 17 useful books to the chartered accountants and financial professionals. To name a few: Role of Chartered Accountant in Capital Market, Management of Chartered Accountants Office, Drafting of Documents and Direct Tax Laws, Chartered Accountants Office Manual, Audit Manual, Investment Laws for MBL, published by National Law School of India University. He regularly writes for Karnataka State Chartered Accountants Association News Bulletin. Those who read the news bulletin regularly, you will find him in the first article every month. He is a source of inspiration. He is a source of knowledge. We are blessed to have him today to present his views on startups, which may give huge openings to all the participants here. Thank you all.
Valley, once a place full of fruit trees, suddenly became an international hub with the advent of people like Bill Gates. These people were called nerds, N-E-R-D-S, nerds, who knew theoretical, who were not interested in anything in life except the subject in which they were involved. So to keep the nerd cool, which Obama used recently, how do you keep a nerd cool? You keep a nerd cool only when his dreams come true. That is keeping the nerd cool. Now the subject of today is enhancing enterprise value. Every human being is endowed with faculties. Every human being, for example, the CEO, A.Narasimhamurthy said Infosys, every knowledge worker leaves my office in the evening every day and comes back next day. Some of them are missing, the others are there. So therefore, every human being is a profit center, endowed with faculties, bestowed with natural resources. The whole idea of value creation is, given this intelligence, given these faculties, you have to unleash the value embedded in those resources. At no given point of time, man has extracted the full value of each of these resources. This is also called the planet's ecosystem. The planet's ecosystem you have, I said this in the last year, you have life on one side, you have non-life on the other side. You have the human life, you have the plant life, you have the animal life. The other side you have non-life. Prithvi, Apu, Tejasu, Vayu, Akasha, the 5 elements of nature. From each one of these, you have to unleash value from time to time. At no point of time, man has extracted the full value from this. So therefore, every person worth his birth must create value. Every person worth his birth must create value because he is full of faculties. And now, when he creates value, who determines the value of that value? It is the market that creates the value of value. It is the market. I think I have created value, but somebody should measure that value and say, sir, you have created value for us. So therefore, the subject of today is startups. What is a startup? Basically, as the expression itself suggests, a startup is something new, something novel, something which works like a magic. It is a magic, something that you can never imagine, just suddenly happens. You want to know, you want to have some information, you can consult dictionaries, you can consult encyclopedias, 15 volumes of encyclopedia, or the huge dictionaries. I don't want to have anything to do with that. Just click a button, pose your question, an answer pops up in no time. This is magic. Why do you require this magic? I will explain it later with some instances. So a startup is something which creates something new, something unique, something which we have never experienced before. This is the first thing in a startup. The second thing in this one, there are 3 or 5. The second thing is, it doesn't cost you anything. It is free. Information is free. Facebook is free. Everything is free for you. Second, the idea that you want to get germinated and harvested later on can be produced as a product, can come as a product, can come as a prototype. It is required in every household. It reaches a very large section of human society. Lastly, you find most of the wealthiest people have come from this field. For example, Bill Gates is the world's richest man. The second person, Jeff Bezos of Amazon, is the second largest, richest person in the world. So far and so on, story goes on. So therefore, startup immediately brings to your mind some person who is very passionately and intensely nursing an idea, and that idea comes before him like a product, like a service. You know the story of Bill Gates. I don't want to recount it again and again. This boy, at the age of 13, found microprocessors so interesting, so magnetic, so compelling, that he did not know the difference between day and night. He forgot to take his food. Somebody had to remind him, sir, you have not taken any food right from the morning. He was so intensely attached. The idea caught him like a magnet. He was a possessed person. You have heard of tapasvis. In India we always say, he did tapas, he did tapas, he did tapas. Tapas means intensity. And what did you want from a tapas? You want the God to appear before you, the Almighty God to appear before you. But when people like Bill Gates did tapas, what appeared before them was a complete detail of a microprocessor. The microprocessor unfolds itself to this intensely working person and says, I am the microprocessor, these are my details. So therefore, one thing that goes with the founders of startups is a passion, an intensity of purpose. Secondly, this is one thing. This is what a startup is all about. Startup is something unique, something exclusive, something not done before or experienced before, something which every household requires, something which everybody can afford. It is free. First thing. The second thing is, as life becomes more and more and more complex, your expectations also grow phenomenally. And now, only a miracle happen to give you all your wishes. What distinguishes man from other forms of life is only man can perform miracles. Plant life cannot perform miracles. Animal life cannot perform miracles. What is this miracle which changes the whole world? Suddenly it changes the whole world. This is called technology. Today's miracle is technology. Technology can change the whole world. Now I will explain this with a few instances. There were two young boys, 19-year-old and 20-year-old. They were studying in Stanford University, having been denied admission in MIT. At the age of 19 and 20, they opened a website and put their project on the site. And 2 years later, when they passed out of Stanford University, they wanted to sell their idea. They said, this is a beautiful idea we have. This is a search engine. This will help you to get an answer for anything. You press a button, you post your question, and you get your answer. They were prepared to sell it for $1 million. They went to IBM, they went to Yahoo, they went to some other industrialists. They said, search engine is not of that importance today. We are not interested. Yahoo said, we are not interested. IBM said, we are not interested. Then one of the professors said in Stanford University, why don't you go and meet a venture capitalist there? He has funded, they went to a venture capitalist there, explained the whole thing. Sir, we will give you this idea. This is a workable idea. This can be commercialized. We are the innovators of this, exclusive innovators of this. What's an innovation? An innovation is a commercial aspect of an invention. You have an invention, then you have an innovation. Innovation is something that flows out of an invention. He heard them. He said, I will write out a check for you. You start on your own. They said, sir, we have not started our company. We don't have a bank account. It doesn't matter. You open a bank account tomorrow, start your company. Google. They were prepared to give it for $1 million, and they gave it the full breakup for that $1 million. We will assist you. We will work in the company and see that this is fully implemented. Until it becomes successful, we will not leave the company, etc. This is the beginning of Google. The two persons were Brin and Larry Page. These were the two youngsters from Silicon Valley. So in Silicon Valley, Stanford University was not just an university, it was acting like an incubator. So then you know that that was about 2 crores on that day. On that day it was about worth 2 crores. Today it is worth 5.5 lakh crores. If they had sold it, they would have got 2 crores. Today, having not sold it, because circumstances did not allow them to sell it, they started Google, and their revenues today, all of you know how is Google, and they have millions and millions of investors, millions and millions of users. The second is a company called Amazon. What I am saying is they did something which nobody had done before, nobody had experienced before, and the whole thing is free. You don't have to buy a dictionary. You don't have to buy 15 volumes of encyclopedia. You don't have to ask ABCs, sir, I want to know something about this, I want to know something about this. It is an equalizer. As far as knowledge, it's an oracle of knowledge. You have heard of an oracle, you know. You go and meet an oracle and ask for a question, it will bless you with an answer. Oracle of knowledge, whatever you want. You want to have a function tomorrow in Ganesha Chaturthi in our house. You just press a button, you will tell you all about Ganesha Chaturthi. Everything. You know? So therefore you have a storehouse of information, an oracle of knowledge. The second is a company called Amazon. Amazon is the second longest river in the whole world. Jeff Bezos is his name. He also passed out of an university with an engineering degree and joined a merchant banker where he prospered very well. At the age of 30, he was the vice president of a merchant banker. At the age of around 29-30, it occurred to him, why not I use the internet and start a company in the e-commerce space. There are shops selling about 1 lakh books, 2 lakh books and all that. I can make available to the whole world more than million books. From the comfort of your house, you can ask for any book from these million books and you will get it within 24 hours. So therefore, Bezos started this company called Amazon. Today, Amazon's turnover is about 100 billion. 100 billion, about, you can calculate 1 million, I will leave it here. 1 billion is $100 crores, about 8,000. 8,000 into 100, it comes to about 80 lakh crores. Okay, this is the billion. His presence is in about 189 countries in the world. And how did he popularize it? You want to sell a brinjal, it's available. You want to Mac computer, it's available. You want to buy a fridge, it is available. At the click of a button, you will get it within 24 hours or 48 hours. If it is very urgent, you can say, I want it today itself, he can deliver it to you. This is how Amazon works. Bezos is the second wealthiest person in the world, replacing Warren Buffett from that place, from that spot. Now Amazon has number of services. Another service is Amazon Web Services, which is extremely popular. Out of 100 billion sales, Web Services is about 10 billion or 10% of its turnover. This is again a startup company. Microsoft was a startup company. Bill Gates started. He had only 12 people and he got the first order for DOS. DOS was a company of IBM. IBM had about 35,000 hand-picked engineers. In Microsoft, there were only 12 people working in an 8x4 room which had no ventilation. Whenever you wanted to have fresh air, you had to come out, have some fresh air and go in. And on the first day he wanted for interview IBM, they said you have to wear a suit. Oh my God, I have no time for buying suit and all that, he said. No sir, you have to have a suit. No, on the way to the IBM office I will buy a suit. I have no time for all that, he said. So really, he really meant he had no time. Because whenever he wanted to catch a flight, if the flight was 8 a.m., people will tell him 7 a.m. If it is 8 a.m., he will start only 5 minutes earlier because he has no time. All the 24 hours he is working. So therefore, in the case of Amazon, what happened? This is the web service. This web service is something available to anybody. You can work on that platform. You don't have to have your networking. Don't have to have a networking. In the case of a startup, what do you need? First of all, a proprietary technology you need. Second, you need networking. Then you need a brand name. You have all these three things in the case of startup. So Amazon today has come to India, has already invested about $2 billion and promised to bring in another $3 billion, about $5 billion, about 40,000 crores Amazon will bring into India. They handle about 6 crore products. Just imagine, we closed all these shops in Shimoga, all the shops in Bangalore, Chickpet, Balay, all the shops in Bangalore. One Amazon can take care of all your needs. You don't have to leave your house to shopping. Don't have to take your family for shopping. At the click of a button, sitting in your house, whatever you want, you can get it. They handle about, they said 6 crore products they handle. Anything that you want is available in Amazon. You go to US, I wanted a small wire. Somebody said, no, I will contact Amazon. Immediately he said, the next day I had this small wire, it came. The smallest thing to the biggest thing. Amazon wants to popularize the retail selling business. It is a foreign company and therefore there are some restrictions on Amazon. The restriction on Amazon is, there are 2 types of marketing. One is warehouse marketing and another is called the marketplace marketing. In the case of marketplace marketing, the retail trade, the foreign retailer is allowed 100% investment in India, but he cannot have a warehouse and sell goods. He has to source it from retailers. If you want to sell a brinjal, you don't have to sell it directly, you can sell it through Amazon. People in Shimoga can operate through Amazon. or Flipkart or Snapdeal. So therefore imagine just, I close all the shops in Shimoga, free space and all that, then you have an Amazon office or a Flipkart office in Shimoga, you can buy whatever you want. So therefore Amazon has introduced a normal business plan. They had what you call the chai chat. They engaged some three-wheeler, and this three-wheeler they will carry some drinks, cold drinks, tea, chai chat is called, chai, drinking water and lemon juice. Go to every retail dealer and tell him, I will train you how to sell your goods. I will train you how to sell your goods. I will fund you. They have funded more than $1.2 billion to small retail dealers. You don't have to work hard in the sunshine. Whatever product you have, you give it to me and ask me to sell it, I will do that. This is what Amazon has been done. A very amazing thing. They have done this they have covered about 15,000 kilometers, operated in about 31 cities of India. He has met Modi. Modi met him also and asked Modi, sir, you also allow us to do this warehousing transaction. So this is about Amazon story. Amazon story, the second. This is the first to enter e-commerce. First to enter e-commerce in India. The first was a product. The second is a name. The third person is called Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook. Zuckerberg was in the Harvard University. A young boy, he started taking interest in software at the age of 13. He used to write programs. All these young boys worked in a team. 2 or 3 people. For example, Bill Gates with Paul Allen and Steve Jobs with another engineer. All these people worked as a team. Zuckerberg also had a team of 3 persons. What Zuckerberg thought was, I'm not interested in making money. All these founders, they did not find attraction in money. They found attraction only when their ideas came into fruition. Something that I have to unload from my breast, something that is troubling me, harassing me inside, that must come out. You want to have a vision of God, God comes before you. You want to have a vision of microprocessor, it comes before you. You want to have a vision of the full potential of your e-commerce. I want to be present in 189 countries of the world. I want to do a social service. Zuckerberg also said, I want to do a social service. What is the social service he wanted to do? He wanted to connect every family in the whole world. I want to see that every family is connected, not only your relatives, every family, every friend. So therefore he created Facebook. First initially, most of the enterprises done by startups is to have a small niche market, to validate your idea, to test your idea, because all the seeds don't germinate. Only some seeds germinate. Similarly, some ideas germinate. All ideas don't germinate. That is why you need validation of your idea. Whether your idea is really can be concretized into a product, concretized into a byproduct. So he started in Harvard University and wanted to connect all the students of Harvard University. Some people said nobody will share his personal details in Facebook. Why are you doing this? He said, no, I am passionate. I want to connect the whole world. This is a social thing that I want to do. Whether I make money or not doesn't matter. Harvard University was a great success. Then he tried to connect all the universities. And everybody wanted to share that also. Today is my birthday, tomorrow is my mother's birthday, day after tomorrow is my father's day. It went as they say, viral. Now you are connected, you connect viral with a disease, that means it spreads. With knowledge also can go viral. So therefore it simply goes viral. And then he got to him, why not I start a company? Those 3 people. He came with an IPO when he was about 28 years old. At 28 years old, when the IPO was open, he became the 9th richest person in the world. All these people are not fond of money. Ideas chase them, money chase them. In the Silicon Valley, it was said in 1999 and 2000, before the dot-com burst, all that you need is a piece of paper and a business plan. and add a word, letter called E. Don't say Araka Merchants, say E-Araka. Immediately a venture capital fund will chase you. And sir, I will give you money, your E-Araka will be a great success. So therefore, Facebook came out with an IPO. They offered at $38 a share. There is an Indian lady who put all her life savings into this IPO at $41. Her son told her, don't invest money fully in Facebook. It will not be a success. Withdraw the money immediately. And she could not cancel the order. They said, your order cannot be cancelled. $41 is purchase is made. You have to pay the money. After the IPO was over, it was a flop. The share prices came down by 40%. At the first annual general meeting, everybody heckled Zuckerberg and said, so what's the future? I don't know. I believe in what I am doing. This is all what I said. If you trust me, you trust me. So therefore, one thing that is required in startup space is people should trust you if you want to reach them. And as I said, it is a magic. Nobody believes in a magic. They want to know whether this is a magic or a reality. So therefore, then he persisted and went on. Today, that is $38 a share. Today is quoting about $124 a share. You require patience to trust a person in this space. That is Zuckerberg. Modi also visited Zuckerberg, and Zuckerberg was asked to come to India. In the initial stages of Facebook, he did not have peace of mind. He went to Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs said, you must have a clean mind and a clear mind if you want to succeed in life. Zuckerberg comes to India. He said, go and meet a saint in India. He gave him the address and all that. Zuckerberg came to India, spent about 1 month, met all types of people in India and went back. Recently, in one of his addresses, when he came to India, he said, India has produced brilliant engineers. They are successful not in India, but only in US. Why? Because you don't have a platform to deliver. You need a platform to deliver. I need a platform to talk to you. so therefore, that is a Zuckerberg story. So that again is a startup. Startup where the whole world needs to be connected. If the whole world is to be connected, then you have made use of the internet. I said you have an invention, you have an innovation. Innovation is what? Innovation is commercializing an invention. This is what Peter Drucker said, definition of an innovation. You have today about 1 billion apps, 100 crores applications built on the internet. By 2020, they say it will be 10 billion. That is 10,000 applications on the internet you will have. So therefore, there is no limit for the innovation that can be carried on through the internet, via the internet. This is the story of Zuckerberg. Today he is the wealthiest person. Last year he had a baby. As soon as a girl is born in the family, in India they will say, please save money. I say, tomorrow you have to take care of your daughter, marriage expenses and all that. As soon as a daughter was born, he said, 99% of my wealth will go for charities. 99% of my wealth will go for charities. I am not interested in money. Money chases only those who don't want money. Not those who want. Zuckerberg is an example. Bill Gates is an example. Warren Buffett is an example. Warren Buffett said, what will my children do with my wealth? Bill Gates said, what my children do with my wealth? If a person has $61 billion, what will my child do with $61 billion? So all these people said, and they have got called a Millionaires Club or something, where huge charities are promised. There's a global fund, there's a universal fund to which Warren Buffett contributes, Bill Gates contributes. There's a Melinda Foundation, the largest charity giver in the world. They contribute. He commits about $31 billion or something over a period of time. So this global charity fund, it could be India, it could be Africa, it could be anywhere. This is Zuckerberg's story. All these startup founders are motivated by an idea which would be commercialized, a new thing, something like a magic, something like a miracle. Something like a miracle that happens. Now I come to an Indian called Murugavel. Murugavel wanted to study chemistry. He did not give a seat in chemistry, so he opted for statistics. After statistics, he did a course in computer science. He was very good at programming. So he went to US and found that all the Tamilians were finding it difficult to matching for matrimony. So therefore he thought, why not I connect Tamilian people in US with a view to matrimony. So he created a portal called the matrimony.com only for the US Tamilians. It became a great success. He was doing it free. No charges. Then his wife one day told him, you are losing $1,000 every month on this. Why don't you charge something, Then he said, please wait, let it be a success, let me charge afterwards. Let people be aware. Once people rush in, I will charge. Until then, let me wait, he said. Then he found this was a great success. Then this Murugavel came to India. Then he thought, why not I connect all the families in India for this matchmaking. Matchmaking is a 300 crore business in India. Matchmaking alone. Now, in matchmaking itself, he found region-wise there are problems. So 15 region-wise, he created websites. And 350 community websites. You are a Madaliyar, you are a Chettiar, you are an Iyer, you are an Iyengar, you are a Telugu, you are Malayali. All this he said. He said about 350 websites I will create. And one day one of his founder directors went there. He employs about 4,000 people today for this. For matching, he employs 4,000 people. So he went to an army camp. One of the founder directors went to the army camp. The army people said, sir, we have no way to find our matches. We are not able to get married and all that. Why don't you do something for that? He created a separate portal for military personnel. He created a separate portal for disabled people. Separately. Somebody limbs, somebody has got one eye, different things and all that. So today, it is then he thought of, I don't want to be an altruistic person, that is, I don't want to freelancer. He started charging. Then again, he split this, then he named it as Bharat Matrimony. So therefore universal. He has offices in Dubai, he has offices in America, he has offices in India. He caters to the entire world today. Then he thought of elite matrimony. Elite matrimony, the rich people all through the internet, all through technology. Without technology support, this is also a startup. All through technology. Now he said, for the very affluent, if you are very rich people, a rich people's club called the elite matrimony. You have always problem with very rich people. You should be very careful in getting a match from rich people. So if you go to elite matrimony, you will get this. I am not joking. Some problem with the son, some problem with the daughter, all this, no? So elite matrimony started. Then it occurred to him, why not the people give a lot of gifts and all that in marriages. Why not I have a separate portal for gifts? So he thought of a portal called Tambulya. This Tambulya portal has about 3,000 varieties of gifts. You go to the internet, put tambulya.com and types of gifts, the price for each thing, you want to bags, you want whatever gift ideas. About 3,000 ideas there, Tambulya is there. Then he started a data bank. Bharat Matrimony data. You will get 60,000 vendors. 60,000 vendors for various services in a marriage. You will get that. This is also available in that. Second thing. The third one which Murugavel started was what you call the assisted marriage portal. Assisted marriage. You don't know anything about marriage function, how to organize, how to do this and all that. Event managers, they call this event managers. So they can do the event managers post for this. He started the data portal. He started, any of you can go into Bharat Matrimony and find out a match for you. Tambulya. The third one, Expo. Educate people on matrimony. Educate people, give information on matrimony. And a lot of privacy is maintained in Bharat Matrimony. He depends on trust. He takes your telephone number, verifies your telephone number, lot of trust. So therefore Bharat Matrimony is also on the, you have various other startups in India. Flipkart, for example, Snapdeal, for example, Big Basket, for example. You have any number, or Quicker, for example. Quicker, for example, is interesting. Quicker is a portal where you can sell your second-hand goods. My fridge is second-hand. How do you do that? In America, you will keep it outside. Somebody will come and pick it up. In India, you cannot do that. Now, there will be a quarrel on the road. There are people fighting to take away that fridge. So, it will not happen. Not many people will come and take it. You have to telephone somebody and check, and you come and pick it up, some orphanage and all that. Now, second-hand car, you want to sell your second-hand car, go to Quicker. My car is 2 years old or 3 years old. I want a buyer. Within 5 minutes, you will get a buyer. Across the state, you will get a buyer. Okay, leave that. That is not very complicated. You want to buy a cow, you want to buy a buffalo, go to Quicker and said, I want to buy a cow for my house. And they have sold about 1,000 livestock last year. People laughed at him. Most of these people have been laughed at. Zuckerberg was laughed. You think everybody will share their personal information with you? Today everybody says, my child is birthday tomorrow. You are unrelated. My child's birthday tomorrow with all photos and all that will come. My mother-in-law's birthday, my father-in-law's birthday, everything, So everybody wants to share everything. All personal details today is interesting. You can remind my time whenever. Now when you look at me, I think I don't look at you. So Quicker is a website where you buy second-hand goods, 1,000 crores. Flipkart, coming back to Flipkart. Flipkart monthly sales is about 4,000 crores. Amazon is about 4,100 crores. Snapdeal is about 710 crores. Now, I come to valuation of this because the type of money that these people have received. Flipkart has received, I come to funding a little later, but at this point of time, $3.75 billion has received funding. No bank will fund a startup company because you are funding an idea. A banker will not fund an idea. He will fund a collateral. Security. If you have security, you come to me. If you don't have security, take care of yourself. So therefore, it is slightly different. So a venture capitalist, I will come to definitions and all that. A venture capitalist is one who sinks or sails with you. He takes equity in you. If you fail, he fails. If you succeed, he succeeds. It doesn't matter if out of 100, there is one Infosys, one Microsoft, one Google, one Apple, it's good enough for me. So therefore, venture capitalists were after, I said, no, you simply add an E, venture capitalist will come and fund you. So $3.75 billion they have been funded. And there are many rounds, first round, second round, third round and all that. For the last 7 years, it has its presence in India. In these last 7 years, they have not made any profit. They have not made any profit, although their turnover is about 4,000 crores per month. How do you value a startup like this? You have loaned 25,000 crores. Will any bank give it to Flipkart? 25,000 crores. Will anybody give 25,000 crores? Will anybody give such an amount to Snapdeal, about $1.75 billion? And most of these people who fund them are foreign investors or angel investors. An angel investor is a high net worth individual who funds you. That's an angel investor. The person who funded Steve Jobs was an angel investor. They were working in a garage. This garage itself is a big thing, In Silicon Valley, all those who started in a garage became very successful. So therefore, there is a joke saying, if you want to be successful, start in a garage. Narasimhamurthy also started in a garage in Jayanagar. So you don't, for idea to germinate, you don't have to have a big place. You have to have a small place. Okay, that's all about garage place. So now 1.75 Snapdeal, most of these are foreign investors, foreign venture capitalists. These foreign venture capitalists operate in their parent company is in US, their home country is US. In US you have to show the valuation of your share quarterly basis. So therefore their investments in Snapdeal or Flipkart undergoes revision in valuation every quarter. That is how you know whether the share is doing well or not doing well. Not doing well. It's very difficult to value an idea. It's literally valuing your brain. No, it's extremely difficult. So this is what I wanted to say about none of them are making profits. Quicker is also not making profits. Big Basket is also not making profits. Now you want to buy organic vegetables, you go to Big Basket, organic food. All of them said, I want to do a social service. Some are genuine, some are not genuine. But everybody says, I want to see that everybody eats healthy. So I am here to provide you organic vegetables, organic fruits and all that. So at the click of a button, whatever fruits you want, even Amazon gives you all fruits, all vegetables also he gives. Whatever you want, a small wire also he will send it to you within 24 hours. A brinjal, 1 kg of brinjal also he will send it to you within 24 hours. So these are some of the examples I just wanted to give you. Next I will move on what our Karnataka government has done. Karnataka government has started what you call a startup kit. It has provided, now you require in the startup ecosystem, first thing that you require is, I'm just thinking of the serial order, whether funding should come first or mentoring should come first. Okay, people want funding first and mentoring next. Don't teach me anything now. First give me money, afterwards you can teach me. So, I will take mentoring first. All these young boys who have started startups have no entrepreneurial backup, have no business backup. You need business acumen to start a business and to succeed in a business. This is what you hear frequently. But they don't have a business acumen, they have an intellectual acumen. So therefore, whether you anchor an intellectual acumen in a business field is a thing, you know. So I don't have a business acumen. I don't know anything about business. I am a nerd. I am an innocent person. I know my subject thoroughly. I know nothing else. So if I am a nerd and if I want to keep cool, then I must see that this is an acceptable product. I said in value creation, you think you have created value, but somebody has to measure that value. The value of value has to be measured not by you, by the market. So therefore, what they said was, you require mentoring. You have to be educated on what is business, what is entrepreneurship all about. Now in Silicon Valley they say, Stanford University acts not just like an educational institution, it acts like an incubator. So therefore most of the professors have an entrepreneurial backup. That is how they were able to advise Page to go and to start a business. You go and approach an angel investor, he will give you money, he will give you $1 million, you start the business. You will be a success. So for mentoring you require, one is an incubator, another is called an accelerator. An incubator is somebody who gives you, not like a research laboratory, it's not a research laboratory. An incubator is somebody who gives you managerial assistance. How to manage a company? What is entrepreneurship all about? And how do you work? What type of ethics? In the beginning, Flipkart or Amazon, for example, they used to go on a bicycle and gather books from this end, pack them themselves and send it to you. Today it is not possible because Amazon sells millions of books. Millions of books. You can understand how to pack. Packing itself, frustration packing, as it is called, frustration. You want to remove, the cover comes, you know, so many staplers are put there, removing your cover itself is frustrating. So Amazon has an idea called frustration packing, to remove frustration from packing. She will pack you in such a manner that you can easily open your parcel. I was chasing brown packets, said Amazon founder said. Brown packet was your packing. Packing itself is a subject in Amazon. How do you pack without frustrating the receiver? Amazon also, he said, he told his employees, don't look upon my company as a big company. You look upon my company as multiple startups. For packing, I have a division. I have a delivery. I have. For suppliers, I have. I fund suppliers. I know my customers. I'm customer centric. I'm excited about. I am not worried about competition. Another thing about when I said mentoring is required for somebody who feels that he is monopolistic. A startup is a monopoly. It's a creative monopoly. There is nobody else in the field. I am the first in the field, and therefore I don't care for anybody. There is no competition for me. Even for example, Facebook faced competition. Google wanted to replicate Facebook. They called it Google Growth or something they called it. Google, they came with, at that point of time, one day he called all his officers in a room. He is not a great communicator, Zuckerberg, but I am talking about mentoring. Mentoring, what happens, he called all his staff and told them, Google is trying to replicate my product. They have not understood my product. When you want to replicate another person, be careful. You can never replicate another person. There are gaps. So therefore, Zuckerberg went on explaining. He was not a good speaker, but whatever he talked was animated speech, full of content. He was so passionate about what he is doing. Somebody is assaulting my idea. So somebody is attacking my idea so that you keep them at bay. So there's a saying in Christian, destroy him. Somebody who assaults you, destroy him. He said, we should destroy Google Growth, he told his company people. Are you with me or are you not with me? Yes, all of us are with you, sir. We will improve our product. We will improve our Facebook. Within no time, Google Growth vanished. So therefore, startups want to operate in a space where there is monopoly. Creative monopoly. It's called creative monopoly, not the monopoly of yesteryears. Creative monopoly. My idea is perfect because I said God appeared before rishis. Microprocessor appeared before Bill Gates. Only the vision of microprocessor for Bill Gates was something special and exclusive to him. He knew it in full details. So similarly, Facebook is something, the details appeared before him. What happened in Facebook? In Facebook, suddenly there is a boy, 13-year-old boy. My time, okay. 13-year-old boy, his specialization was hacking. Introduce a virus and hack. 13-year-old boy, specialist in this. His father was so wild with him, so angry with him. You stop all this nonsense, I will throw you out. He threw out because he was halfway through hacking, he could not conceal his name. He could not conceal his... Police caught him. And he said, sir, I am a young boy, I am about 13, 14 years old, you cannot put me in jail. Okay. They counseled him, here afterwards don't do this. But old habits die hard, no? So when Facebook came, he hacked. 10 more minutes, okay? Then I'll rush through. After this, I'll rush through. So sometimes when it comes to an end, you get a lot of relief, When recently in that badminton case, when she fell down, when she won the match, she fell down, no? She was so much excited, intensity. When she won, my God, she fell, no? Only the person who lost had the courage to go and say, so similarly, after 10 minutes, I feel so relieved. So this boy hacked Facebook. And there's another imitation. He said, this is equal to that imitation. So this... the founders of this Facebook were surprised. What do we do with this? He said, don't worry. We will call him, make him one of our directors. They did that. And did that, this boy immediately turned from a hacker to a creator. He contributed enormously to Facebook's growth. because the Facebook was facing competition, and one thing that you hate in this area of startup is no competition, no monopoly. Windows means Windows Supreme. Windows Supreme. Apple means Supreme. Steve Jobs said, my operating systems will not sit on any computer. Supreme. Exclusively to my products are exclusive. So therefore here also, Steve Jobs also had that, no? All these people have that passion because that idea has gripped them like a devil, no? They are possessed people. Their idea can never be assaulted. Their idea can never be attacked. That idea should live in flesh and blood. It should never. Windows, for example, endures. The enduring value of their ideas. So therefore, coming back to mentoring. Mentoring is the incubator stage. All incubators. Now we have NASSCOM in India. NASSCOM in India is supposed to do this incubator plan. Now, on 16th of January 2015, Prime Minister Modi called a meeting of all stakeholders in startups. 1,500 people attended. He unleashed a plan, the flagship program of Government of India on startups. There he announced a series of measures, a slew of measures to help startups in India, because he had come from Silicon Valley. He knew what Silicon Valley is about, and he knew what this new tribe of nerds, I will use the nerds frequently, these young boys who are not interested in anything in life, but only interested in changing the whole world, making your life meaningful, making your life joyful. So therefore he said, I have about 15-point agenda. I have no time to go through that. He said, I will create a separate hub for this, a startup hub in the Ministry of DIPP, that is Department of Industrial Promotion, Policy and Promotion, DIPP. DIPP has now a website. DIPP gives a definition of a startup, its own definition, which is, that definition is different from the definition in the Income Tax Act of a startup. Now they will give you all assistance. All of you should get yourself registered. The advantages there was, he has set up a 10,000 crore fund to be made available to startups. 10,000 crore fund, and income tax exemption. Income tax 3-year holiday for startups. Capital gains exempt in respect of startups. 2 or 3 types. And there is a provision in the income tax under section 56, income from other sources, where if a company sells a share at a premium, that premium is taxable under section 56. In the case of a startup, they sell shares to venture capitalists at a premium. This premium would normally be taxed, but in the case of a startup, when they sell shares to a venture capital, this premium is exempt. So therefore you have 4 exemptions in the Income Tax Act. A tax holiday, a capital gain exemption on residential house sale, capital gain on the sale of any other asset, exemption in the case of premium in respect of shares sold. You have the income tax. Labor laws are also free. And now you have the SEBI laws. SEBI deals with listing of companies on the stock exchange. Now they have used norms for listing of startups. Now one thing is, if you are a public limited company, you are not eligible for any of the benefits under DIPP regulations. Under Income Tax Act, yes. A company, a limited liability partnership, the individuals are not eligible. But in the case of income tax, public limited companies are also eligible. There you are not eligible. So there are other conditions. They are mentioning a turnover of 25 crores. 25 crores is nothing for an e-commerce company today. I said their monthly turnover is about 4,000 crores, so therefore these exemptions carry no meaning. So under the Income Tax Act you have exemptions. Under the labor laws you have a 3-year holiday. Nobody can come and inspect, and self-certification is there, and so on. The other laws, Companies Act also, whatever money is given is not treated as a deposit. And now NASSCOM has come out with a report of 2015-2016, where they have a program to bring into existence about 10,000 startups by the year 2020. This is called 10,000 plan, for which state governments have also taken initiative. State government are going to build warehouses, I don't know what for. They are going to build warehouses for Indian companies like Flipkart and other, they are going to make available about 950 seats or about 300 seats with in connection with NASSCOM. There are a slew of measures that state government of Karnataka has taken. They have also created a separate website. There will be a separate company formed by government of Karnataka in which they will give you assistance. That is incubator assistance, managerial assistance, financial assistance, and expertise assistance. I don't know how any government company can give you expertise advice, advice on finance, etc. But anyway, they have a big plan for startups. So now, I think my 10 minutes is over, or okay. I just read out, if I left out anything, I left out. I will just summarize whatever I said so far. One was, I talked about Google, I talked about Amazon, I talked about Facebook, I talked about Bharat matrimony. I did not want to take it. Then I said PM's startup plan, which was announced in January 2015, 15-point plan up. And then I talked about Karnataka's startup booster kit. And then NASSCOM report, KPMG NASSCOM report, there is a report on e-commerce. E-commerce, all of you understand. Department of Science and Technology has set up 100 crores. ONGC has also set up 100 crores. Those who are operating in these areas, niche areas of science and technology, 100 crores is available as a corpus. 100 crores is available with reference to ONGC item sector. Now, legal form. What legal form? Should you be an individual? Should you be a partnership? Should you be a private limited company? Should you be a public limited company? Should you be a limited liability partnership? Should you be a joint venture? Any of this. Now, we have a definition in the Income Tax Act which recognizes only limited liability partnership and a company, whereas you have in the DIPP regulations, public limited companies are excluded. Of course, sole proprietorship is also excluded. Now you have key definitions. Who is an angel investor? I said venture capital. Who is there? PE funds, cloud funding. Cloud funding means a group of people come and advance money to you. There is a discussion paper issued by the Reserve Bank of India on cloud funding. They want to introduce cloud funding, which is popular in America. I want to assist a company, small Flipkart for example. 20 people come together and fund it. It is called cloud funding. You have heard cloud in the IT context. Here also called cloud funding. There is a discussion paper issued by the RBI. Another is peer-to-peer lending. There is a borrower here, there is a lender here. You have got money and he needs your money. So you go through an institution called a bank which does this intermediation process. Without the bank's intermediation process, I will connect you with him. You want to lend money, he prepared. This is called peer-to-peer lending. On peer-to-peer lending also, there is a discussion paper issued, crowdfunding discussion paper is issued by SEBI under collective investment schemes, alternative investment scheme regulations. They have issued a discussion paper on that, how to go about this. How do you distinguish crowdfunding from venture capitalists, from angel capitalists, and you have the PE capitalists. How do you distinguish? So SEBI has issued a paper. Now peer-to-peer lending is done by RBI because you ignore banks. So A wants to has money to B. A can lend it to B. This is peer-to-peer lending. How is this to be regulated? Then traditional banking, bootstrapping. Bootstrapping means depending on your own funds. You don't take any loans. There are many people who bootstrapping. I start with bootstrapping and then go for lending. Mentoring, I talk about incubators, accelerators. There are about 15 in India. There's a difference between an incubator and an accelerator. Microsoft recently had a program on accelerators where some Indian firms operated. In the case of an accelerator, what you do is you bring potential customers face to face with the startups and introduce customers to you and say how this business is to be done. The potential customers, I'm taking the high net worth individuals, okay. Then unicorns. What's an unicorn? Unicorn is one who is high net worth, $1 billion, 1 billion. All these are called unicorns. Unicorn. Flipkart is a unicorn. I've got 1 billion turnover. All these are all referred to as unicorns. What is a business plan? Business model. Business model, that's very different. I will only refer to a business plan by Tyson. Tyson, you know, that boxer. The boxer said, "Sir, have you any plan when you come for a fight?" He said, "Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face." Until you suffer, you will not know the value of your play. This is what Tyson said. Of course, in his own language, he said, punching in the face. Okay, now DIPP has also issued a frequently asked questions. I did not go through this in detail. Income tax I have already said. SEBI Act listing norms, labor law exemption I have said. RBI policy on capital inflow, they have liberalized the whole thing. President Obama recently, on June 24th, addressed 7th Global Innovation Summit at the Stanford University campus, where all the global leaders were present. Okay. 5 minutes, I'll close this. I wrote down the list so that I don't... So, the 7th global. So, Obama said, you have United Nations to connect the world. You have World Economic Forum to connect the world. They don't connect the world at all. People come and fight. Only thing that connects the world is entrepreneurship. Only thing that connects the world is ideas. We have today Pichai Sundar. Pichai Sundar said, who is the head of Google, the highest tax-paid CEO in the world today. Highest, you could never have imagined that an Indian will head a company like Google. He will succeed the founders. You could never imagine 2 years ago that an Indian, Nadella, will head Microsoft, succeeding the two founders. Two founders, succession is an Indian. Google an Indian. Today, no longer people ask you, where are you from? They don't ask this question. So Pichai Sundar said, whenever I come, people ask me, sir, you have any new idea today? Can we introduce Chrome in place of what Microsoft is doing? So today people are, when they meet, sir, you are from which place? They don't ask you, oh my God, I wanted to meet you and you have some new ideas, things like that. This is what they said in that forum. So therefore Obama said, put more tools and resources in the hands of those folks who want to change the world. They change the world. Miracles take place day in and day out thanks to technology. Silicon Valley a few years ago was a place of fruit trees. Today it is the international hub. All the best brains are found in Silicon Valley. Your brain may not be best while you are in India. You have a best brain when you go to America and work in Silicon Valley. Not where are you from, but your idea matters. Referring to Google in Yahoo, he said, referring to Google in Yahoo, Sir, Obama said, school projects become a Google, school projects become a Yahoo, school projects become a Microsoft. I never write such a project in my time, Obama said, referring to himself. So school projects, what universities can do in India. India's youngest population is about 10 to 24 years. We are 356 million. So you have the best potential. You should ratchet up your fundamental potential here. You should come out. To ratchet up your, in a world where there are miracles happening, you can also be part of that miracle. The youngest population in the world, the second youngest population in the whole world, we have in India. Now, lean startup overcome, okay, there are some things. First thing that happens for a breakup of a startup is conflict. People quarrel in the beginning. It never happened in the case of Microsoft. It never happened in the case of Apple. It never happened in the case of Google. It never happened in the case of many, many other foreign companies. 2 or 3 boys who were there in the college, they were there till the end. In Microsoft, they were there till the end. In Apple, they were there till the end. In other companies, they were there till the end. In India, they say, what happens for a breakup startup is initial misunderstanding. This is the first thing. An incomplete business plan, untested market, lack of adequate funding. Okay, existing company execute business models, they don't have one. Hypergrowth, there is a World Economic Forum is engaged in commissioning a report on hypergrowth companies in India. Hypergrowth companies are in the .com area. There is a .com bust in 2000, around 2000, because they said everybody with an E, funded. No, most of the companies collapsed. No, you have to simply say not Krishnaswamy, E-Krishnaswamy. So therefore, this man is. So therefore, this must took place because of that. Fascinated. Hypergrowth committee, creative. No more competition here afterwards. You want to be successful in life, you have to be a. So then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for giving me a presentation. Thank you.
Privileged, mostly blessed to have you here. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
about startups, you can ask.
Okay, thank you.
Until it is vetted by a VC funding, it is going to be taxed. What happens to the small startups where they do not, get their
Okay.
This is in the context of income
Only
tax I
now,
am asking.
now, only B2B is permitted. They cannot, the foreign, under the foreign direct investment policy of Government of India, a foreign company cannot have a warehouse. It can only connect, you should identify a supplier, you should have a buyer. This is a B2B. The other model called the B2C model is what you call the fulfillment program of Amazon. The fulfillment program, what you do is, you have a warehouse, you stock your goods there and sell it directly to customers. This is the B2C model, B2B model. Now what is the indirect implications? Now prima facie it will appear it will attract service tax. Now if you tax these people, they will vanish in no time, because already most of these startup companies give heavy discounts. And Government of India has come out with a notification saying you should not give discounts. You should not sell it below market rate, because all the retail association is there, they are protesting. Now, GST has to have an implication on these transactions. Our next speaker will deal with subject.
58.
Okay.
Where the share premium is going to be taxed unless and until it is approved by the VC venture capitalist and all that.
Okay.
Unless it falls under the exemption. So now what happens? Many startups which they do not get their funding approved. Now there is a conflict, I think. Startups will die because of this taxing. It's a disincentive.
Now there are two things. They have said in the hands of the company. Now they said they will give an exemption for this. The finance minister also mentioned this in his speech, in his budget speech, and 56(2) also has notified. They have said. Also the law section has also been amended. The section has been amended to say that if a startup company sells its shares to a venture capital fund or to any other notified fund, then it will be exempt. It will not be taxed. This is what they have said in this amendment.
Other than venture capital fund?
I think notified. They have used the word notified. Other institutions as notified. Talk of venture capitalists in India today. When venture capitalists came up in US, people talked about venture capitalists as well. Okay.
Sir, you told, suppose you do in India, it is better than you work in America, better than India, you deliver a speech. So, what about our Indian mentality, sir?
I didn't get
regarding this startup.
Huh?
You said that the Indian engineers.
Okay. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Because of the environment. Because of the environment, you work with like-minded people, you work with intellectual people. So therefore, the first lesson, one of the lessons I taught, I was invited to speak at a gathering. So then they said, sir, my daughter is your student, so you should come and address our valedictory. So then I asked them, so what's the group like, age group like of the audience? They said about 6 to 7 year old, they said. No, I think you have come to a wrong person, I told them. No, my daughter knows you very well, so you should come and address. Then I went and addressed the gathering. Then I told them what a mother teaches her child. A mother teaches her child so many things. First thing that she teaches is don't lose. Don't lose. Go to school, don't lose your tiffin box. When the child goes to middle school, she says don't lose your fountain pen. When you go, don't lose your calculator. At every stage, the mother tells the child don't lose, don't lose, don't lose. I will come to your point in this series. So the next said, the mother says don't miss the bus. Don't miss the bus. Afterwards it gets an extended meaning when you grow up old, don't miss opportunity. Never miss the bus. Be punctual, be ready to enter into the bus. Third thing that the mother teaches the child is time management. Time management, if you want to avoid stress, don't postpone to tomorrow what you can do today. Do your homework tonight, sleep peacefully, next day go cheerfully, don't have any stress. Time management. The other thing the mother teaches the child is, you should be very clean. You should be very stylish. Then only people will talk to you. If you smell badly, nobody will come near you, etc. Okay. The other thing the mother teaches the child is, I want to see who are your friends. Be in good company. Steve Jobs had a friend called Paul Allen. Right through them, they worked together. Right through, they worked together. Paul Allen was in this one on the hardware, and he was in software side. So every group, even Bill Gates had, Steve Jobs had, in all these cases. Therefore, you shine when you are in a good company. This is what the mother told the child. You will shine only if you are in a good company. There should be some synergy. Your friend is good in maths, you are good in physics, both of you study together, you will pass. So therefore, the environment in US is totally different. Every person, every boy is a creative person. Take Stanford University for example. Take for example Harvard University. The way universities happen, you see how universities are working in India. Every day there's a fight.
So that I am telling.
So no. Therefore, the whole environment should be different, totally different. Now, when Obama went to the 7th Global Summit of Entrepreneurs into Stanford University, he said, Stanford University keeps nerds cool. That means to say intelligent people are encouraged here. They turn out to great businessmen, entrepreneurs here. So you require a change in the whole outlook in India. Your environment is not good. Your atmosphere is not good. All of you are intelligent, separate. You need a platform to deliver. You have asked me to come and given me a platform, so I have spoken. So don't call Krishnaswamy, no. We will call our own man, I know he's got. So similarly, what happens, you need a platform to deliver. Unless you need a platform to deliver, you cannot deliver your intelligence. Your intelligence can shine in collaboration with somebody else. He knows the subject better. I talk to him, I get something from him, he gets something from me. So therefore, you have to create an atmosphere, you have to create an environment where your fundamental faculties come to light. Basic, it lies hidden, it lies dormant. So when you go to America, do you think, for example, Prahalad was a professor in Mysore. Nobody talked about Prahalad. When we went to America, I wrote a book on core competence. The whole world talks about Prahalad. I went to a school recently in Bangalore, IBS. I went there. They have put a big photo of Prahalad in the management school. So Sundar Pichai, do you think Sundar Pichai would have shown in India, anybody would have given him 500 crore salary? Nobody would have given him, Sundar Pichai, you are from, For example, this is a Bharat Matrimony man. This Bharat Matrimony man is this, his son is a clerk in Port Trust. His mother has not studied beyond one. Now today, Bharat Matrimony makes huge money. This person has shown. So there are any number of instances where Indians have not shone in India, have shone in America because of the environment, because of the atmosphere. The mother told the child, I want to see who are your friends. Be in good company. If you are in good company, you will shine. If you are in bad company, you may not shine. That's why I said, in that context only I said. I did not say India is bad and all that. Zuckerberg, I said you have brilliant computer engineers have come from India.
So that I am
nobody talked about India before 2000. Nobody talked about India in US. India was not on the world map at all. After 2000, when at the turn of 2000th century, people wanted engineers, only India could produce 2 lakh engineers, good, bad or worse. You are an engineer enough, come on, we'll train you. So suddenly change. No, I don't know whether I can repeat one more incident that happened. No, I said it before many times. I was walking in a shop around Hong Kong. One Japanese lady was watching me and my daughter. She came to me. Japanese lady came to me and said, "Sir, you are from India." Yes, I am from India. You are so good in English, so good in maths, so good in computers. How come you are a backward country? She asked me. I said, our ancestors gave importance to mental infrastructure, not to physical infrastructure. That is why we are backward. So thank you.
ನಿವೇದನ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಿವೇದನ್ ನೆಂಪೆ. ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನವರಿಗೆ ಅವರ ಹೆಸರು ಕೇಳಿ ಪರಿಚಯ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಇವತ್ತು ಅವರನ್ನು ನೀವು ಭೇಟಿ ಆಗ್ತೀರ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮಲೆನಾಡಿನ ಅಡಿಕೆಯಿಂದ ಚಹಾ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಡೀ ಪ್ರಪಂಚಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾದವಾದ ಚಹಾ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಆನರ್ ಇದೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈ ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ ಸುಧಾಕರ್ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ ಪಿ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಸುಧಾಕರ್. So wish him many more possibilities so that our Arka people will have a greater chance to convert their Arka into tea. So best of.
I saw Sir C.V. Raman's photo there. Sir C.V. Raman, it reminds me of an incident. No? When you put a garland around Sir C.V. Raman's neck, he never used to take it out. A beautiful garland, he used to enjoy and say, he never used to take it out. Now you put it, he never used to say, let it remain inside. What a beautiful garland you have given. Flowers you smell and all that you would say. That's what Sir C.V. Raman said once.
Now I request A.Narasimhamurthy.
Coming to Shimoga itself is a great memento for me.
Break for tea and come back in 15 minutes. Session that is on GST. I request A.Narasimhamurthy sir to escort CA Rajesh Kumar. Now I request CA Sharath, partner A&M & Co for introducing CA Rajesh Kumar.
When we were planning for the second edition of our annual lecture, we were searching for a suitable topic which makes relevance for everyone. So since GST was about to come, we thought GST is the most apt subject. When we thought of GST, there are so many conversations about it. There is a party which is opposing it. There are states which are saying no to this. There are states which say we want it immediately. Everybody wanted to know why anybody is opposing, why anybody is supporting, why the government is so hell-bent about getting it passed. So how it will affect, what it will do to me. So there were so many questions. So we thought we would look for a person who is an authority and at the same time who can address in a very simple manner. So we found out Rajesh to be the perfect fit because he knows Kannada. He can speak comfortably in Kannada. He is an authority on the subject. He has written various books. He has presented papers on this and various seminars. He is also a trainer to chartered accountants as well as to the lawmakers and administrators. At the same time, he is into practice for last 16 years, where he has contributed to the commerce fraternity through his consultation, advisory and various things. So we requested him we want a seminar on GST in the simplest manner. He readily agreed and said, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And I'm sure he will do that. He has authored books on indirect taxes. He is a vice chairman on state tax and member of Central Tax Committee in FKCCI. Then he's also participated immensely in drafting of the material for CS students in indirect taxes. So with this brief introduction, I'm sure Rajesh is going to make you more comfortable with his authority as well as his simplicity. Over to you, Rajesh.
Now I would like to invite...
Good morning and good afternoon as well. Goods and Services Tax, GST, the hot topic for the day for any businessman. As Krishnaswamy was telling, you add E, anything, you're getting a publicity at that point in time, and .bus happened, .com bus happened. Now, if you want to talk anything, you add GST, it will be sold.